Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar host, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar App and at LineStar MLB, and download the app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. You will not regret it. Everything you need to build your winning lineups in the palm of your hand. You can find me on Twitter at BDentric, and my co-host is always on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how are we doing, my friend?
You know, I'm going to quit complaining about the Diamondbacks because it's just like, why would I?
Pointless.
19 losses in a row. I'll just say that. I'll get that out of the way. It's miserable. And I more have a bone to pick with you. You convinced me to buy Arizona Diamondbacks tickets for these losers, but it is because Ohtani's pitching.
Yeah, this is an easy one. You can pick whatever bone you want, but you get to see Shohei. And
I gave them my money. I felt dirty doing that. Like I hate doing it when they're in this miserable streak, but who cares?
with no DH though. Madden already came out and said he's going to pitch Friday and hit, but the rest of the weekend he's not playing unless he's pinch hitting. So Gotcha. He's getting the weekend off basically. So you're going to get to see him, and then no one else will the whole weekend. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
If he gets pushed to Saturday, I'm going to be so mad that I went to go see Merrill Kelly versus Patrick Sandoval or whoever,
Watch Patrick Sandoval slice and dice the Diamondbacks in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
At least if Shohei goes like 7 shutout, you're like, oh, whatever.
Right. It's Shohei. I got to see him in person. I wonder wwhere he'll be hitting as a pitcher too. That will be interesting as well. But I'm excited to see him. But they're rough right now. But good games on Wednesday. It was a lot of fun. It was a good slate.
Yep, good slate. We had Stanton, your boy, 2 home runs. Judge went deep, so the Yankees started waking up a bit. Andujar, another home run. We talked about how cheap he was, so that was very good. Gomber and Mize were good enough. They both got Mize got 16 points. Gomber should have got 20 plus. But Walker and Lynn, those are the ones.
Mize, yeah,
bullpen blew. Well, Mize gave up a 3-run homer to Seager to tie it up at 3. Then the bullpen blew the whole cha-cha. But Mize was doing great. Just couldn't get out of that last inning. He was doing really good. But Gomber did his thing. Overall, though, fun slate. The Astros continue to just crush baseballs. We talked about it. Like they're in that groove right now. Just stay out of the way.
They got the trash cans working or something new.
And the Mets are heating up.
Oh, yeah, the Mets put a whooping on Baltimore today.
Yeah, Matt Harvey, thanks for coming.
I mean, how do you not get DFA'd after that? 3 innings, 7 earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 8 hits. Yeesh.
He came into the game, they said on the broadcast, with the 3rd highest ERA in baseball, a 6.62. I forget who the top guy is, but can you guess who number 2 is?
It's Patrick Corbin?
It's Luis Castillo.
Oh,
that's depressing. I didn't think it was. I knew it was bad. I didn't think it was 2nd worst ERA bad.
Yeah, we looked over his Sierra versus his ERA the other day, and he's one of the biggest differences. Yeah. But it's not like his Sierra is good.
It's probably like
4.52. Yeah. It's not like it's amazing. It's still
over 2 runs
Sierra,
though.
But it's
over
not
2 runs.
ERA. Yeah, over 7. So
it's we'll have to keep an eye on that. It's tough to still jump on the Castillo bandwagon as much as I want to. I love that man. But Harvey, it reminds me of recent performances in past seasons when a certain gas can was pitching, we'd stack against him, and then he'd get DFA'd the next day. So you're just waiting for that Matt Harvey blurb to come through on Twitter somewhere. But
give somebody else a chance, Baltimore. I know they're not, looking to win anything this year, but you got to get someone else some experience. Harvey ain't going to work. So
not gonna happen. But what is gonna happen is there's a 4-game early slate on Thursday. Go use the LineStar app, get all the goodies there, help you build those lineups. We're gonna break down the 6-game main slate as we do 5 days a week for you guys here on this podcast. And it's 6 games, just a heads up. San Francisco at Washington, 50 to 60% chance of rain. We've had rain chances all week, and we've dodged every bullet so far. Let's keep doing it. Just know Washington's like the worst at deciding if they're going to play or not. The single worst in all of baseball. So
At least they're on the East Coast. They got plenty of time to make it.
First game of the day. So what they do have is they have plenty of time to delay it, and then postpone it like an hour after the lock. That's what they have time to do. But because they're so good at that. I'm not.
At least you don't sound totally bitter about it.
Well, so I'm not spiteful for any past differences with that team. The single worst baseball team in all of baseball for that. But that is the first game on the slate. We do not have a total on that game, but what we do have is Anthony DeSclafani at the Max Scherzer. Disco, whichever you want to call him, 6,300 on DK, 7,000 on FanDuel. Scherzer's 11,400 and 11,000. Disco bounced back in his last start, looked pretty good. And then you have Scherzer, who's just been outstanding. Even if he gets up a couple runs, he gets all the strikeouts. This Giants offense is sneaky good right now, but it's still, I kind of think Scherzer's still in play tonight. Yeah,
I mean, he has to be, especially with only 12 starting pitchers in play, right? And some of them are hard passes. No,
hard
thank you.
Pass.
Yeah. So Scherzer, 3 quality starts in a row with 9 or more strikeouts. So he's in. I think DeSclafani's on. I think he's in play too. Like you said, back to a quality start last time after he had a blow up where he gave up 10, and then he had the short start after that. But he was back to a quality start in his next one. I think he's in play too. Obviously, not as excited for him as I am for Scherzer. But I mean, if you want some bats in this one, which there's not a lot to offer. I mean, if you're going to avoid both sides, there's a little PVB data. 9 for 23 for Bell against DeSclafani with 2 doubles and 2 homers. 6 for 19 for Castro with a double and a homer. 5 for 17 for Schwarber with a homer. And then Brandon Crawford, who did he just go as the he's played more games at shortstop for the Giants than anyone else in Giants history.
And he double donged that night.
And he grew up a Giants fan.
Yeah, there's the little picture. You've probably never seen that more than 1,000 times in his career because it's on every time he has a big moment. But and I'm just being sarcastic. It's pretty cool. But I've obviously watched a lot of Giants games. I've seen Crawford. I remember Crawford getting drafted out of UCLA. I did not think he's played that many games already. That's just, it's crazy how long it's like him and Posey and Belt and all these guys, like not trying to go down a rabbit hole, but it's nuts how long they've been there. It's crazy.
Well, and they all got,
and they're all going to be gone this year.
Yeah. He's 6 for 15 against Scherzer with 3 doubles and 2 homers. So he does see him pretty well, and he's cheap, 35 and 31 because it's Scherzer. Other guys that are hot, Duggar, Wade, Posey, Trey Turner, Juan Soto is always in play. So not a lot of bats to pick through, but there's a little bit of nice PVB data here.
Yeah, this is one of those games, like you mentioned. I like both pitchers for sure. I have no problem with either of them. I still think Scherzer might give up a couple runs, but he probably goes 6 or 7, strikes out close to 10 because that's just what Scherzer does. You got some of these guys, these young kids that are hitting for the Giants, but Duggar's striking out like 45 to 50% of the time right now. Even though he might go Joey Gallo on you, go 1 for 4 with the homer and 3 Ks. It just it's what they do. So I like both these pitchers. I think Disco's a good SP2 on DK if you need him. I don't mind if you want to stack, though. It's like one of those where I could see enough damage being done, especially when you get into the bullpens. The Giants bullpens should be a little tired. Got worked pretty hard the last couple of days. But and then Scherzer's bullpen, if they get there, that's a good thing. Otherwise, you're screwed anyways. So I don't mind some Nats in that matchup. But what I'm trying to get at here is similar to what I said about Cole on Wednesday. If you're going to attack Scherzer, it's hard to do a full stack unless you just want to be really contrarian. You do like 1 or 2 guys with home run upside because you saw against Cole, Polanco, and Sano and Deep. Those are the 2 runs. He gets 2 solo homers. Nothing else helps you in your stack. So if you're looking at the Giants, like maybe the Crawford, like you mentioned, who's very affordable, or some of these other cheap guys, you're just looking for home runs and you move on. So don't you can get cute if you want. I'm not going to tell you not to because anything can happen in baseball, but I'll probably avoid it. Colorado Rockies at the Miami Marlins wrapping up their series here. We got Chichi Gonzalez versus Trevor Rogers, over under 7.5 on this one. I do not know how it's 7.5. Do not know. Chichi is 66 on DK, 63 on FanDuel. Rogers 9K, 10-1. I will stack against Chichi every time.
Yeah.
Rogers, especially on this small slate, like he's kind of backed off of the really hot start, but he's still been good against the road Rockies. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, 4 of his last 5 have been quality, and like you said, it's road Rockies. They have some guys that have been hitting here. I mean, not PVB data-wise, but guys that have been hitting. Tapia has been real hot. Blackman's starting to get back into it. He's only 3,000 on FanDuel, which is nice. 46 on DK. Garrett Hampson, who has another big discrepancy, 45 versus 24. Brendan Rodgers is cheap. He's been hitting a little bit. Daza drove in a couple runs on Wednesday night. Josh Fuentes has been hitting, but like you said, we're really interested in Marlins bats here. Marte, Aguilar, Chisholm, John Berti is a cheap option specifically on FanDuel, 2,100 versus 37 on DK. So yeah, there's a lot of bats to like here. I like Rodgers though. So I think Rodgers is one of my more favorite starting pitchers on the schedule today. So I guess I should have just said favorite, not more favorite. Use proper English here, but I do like Rodgers, and I like a Miami stack against Chi-Chi.
Yeah, no, we're on the same page here. Rodgers I like quite a bit, especially if Scherzer comes in chalky, pivot directly to Rodgers. Don't even think about it. Just take the discount and take the pivot, because in all honesty, Rodgers has the better matchup than Scherzer does. Just Scherzer's got that ceiling that not many pitchers have. So I have no problem going to Rodgers there, and I love the Marlins stack. They've been quietly hitting of late. They're not the completely garbage Marlins you expect, and a lot of it's because Starling Marte is back. Like, you start with Marte, Aguilar, and Chisholm. If you want to add Cedic or Berti or whatever, that's where you go. If you only want to do a 3-man stack, that's fine, because Cooper's on the IL now, which really sucks. He was always cheap and fun. But yeah, Marlins stack, Rodgers, let's go. Houston at the Boston Red Sox. Another one of this one. I'm just stack it up, basically, because guess who's pitching? Zach Greinke, Eduardo Rodriguez, over-under of 9. Both these guys, like, I guess Greinke's been okay, but I think he's disappointing. And Rodriguez has been very disappointing this year. But his numbers, like you mentioned with Castillo, Sierra, he's kind of one of those guys, too, that's a little unlucky, some may say, but still not great. Right. So I'm going to pass on the pitchers here. Maybe you like them. I'd prefer to keep using these hot bats.
I'm going to do it. I'm going back on Greinke here. 8 innings and 9 innings pitched in his last 2 games. He seems to have found the right rhythm. His Ks are way down overall. So you're right about that as far as disappointing year for Greinke. I'm on board with that. But I think in a short slate, especially with him being priced down 78 and 8,000, I think he's a good buy tonight. I think his last start was the complete gamer, 8-inninger at Toronto. So that's
not bad. Not bad.
So I think he's found it a little bit. So I do like him here. But I mean, I'm all over the Astros bats, like you mentioned. Carlos Correa is 6 for 9 with a double against Rodriguez, so he sees him really well. Bregman 3 for 9 with a double and 2 homers. 2 for 7 from Maldonado against him, and then Gurriel and Tucker. Tucker's 32 on either site.
Ridiculous.
Get in on it for sure. Stack them Astros.
They just keep moving Tucker's price down every game this week. But Gurriel versus lefties, like always, a lock and load. You mentioned Correa and Bregman. Bregman went deep again on Wednesday. Was it Miles Straw? I was going to call him Shaw. Miles Straw. He's been playing a lot lately. He's been very productive, and he's like low 2Ks on both sites. So you can definitely go to Straw. There's going to be some nice value with Houston. It's a very should be a popular stack, but it's a stack I like quite a bit. You kind of half sold me on Greinke, because when I think about it only being a 6-game slate, you're going to need some guys. I can't.
It's a good price too.
I just hate using guys that don't get strikeouts, because they have to.
But he can dial it up and get some strikeouts every once in a while. So, and there's some swing and miss in Boston's lineup.
There definitely is. Outside of like Devers and Bogarts, there's even JD striking out. Like, there's a lot of swing and miss there that you can take advantage of. But if you want to stack Boston, I'm not going to hold it back. Anybody back on that one. Like, let's go. Toronto at the Chicago White Sox. Hyun-Jin Ryu, Dallas Keuchel over under 8.5. Yet Ryu at 97 on both sites. Keuchel 61 and 67. Now, this is where I get gutsy, I guess. If you want to be contrarian with Hyun-Jin Ryu against the White Sox, I am all aboard that train.
See, okay, I feel like he's got to be in play because of the short slate. But for me, I'm either going to pay up and take Scherzer and get the guaranteed strikeouts, or I'm going to take the discount on Greinke, or even Desclafani. There's one other guy that I like that we're going to talk about later in this slate. So I'm just not paying that price for Ryu tonight. Not going to do it.
It's dicey. I get it. White Sox bats, they're due to wake up. They've been pretty quiet here so far against Toronto. And we're always, never
Madrigal got hurt too.
That's big bat against the lefty right there. So do you go to the bats though in this one? Because I still, even if you don't want to use Ryu, you got to kind of respect him, I think, to not get blown up, but maybe you don't.
Yeah, I don't have many, I don't have a ton that I love here. I mean, obviously, anytime you want to play Vlad or Bichette, you can. But I some White Sox bats. I like Anderson. I like Grandal. Grandal, like, he is one of the biggest victims of some bad BABIP. Like, it is horrific for him. So he's going to start coming around pretty soon. I did like Madrigal, but he got banged up. There's some PVB data against Keuchel here. Marcus Simeon is 10 for 38 against him. It's not the greatest average. It's 263, but he's seen him, almost 40 times, 41 plate appearances. 3 for 8 for Grichuk with 3 doubles against him, and Grichuk is just dropping bombs. So I really like him at 4,000 and 2,700 on both.
Yeah, Grichuk hit another one on Wednesday, and Toronto, I want to attack Keuchel. I want to attack him a lot tonight. I know he limits the damage and everything, but in recent performances, we've seen him start to give up home runs. Gave up 3 to the Orioles a couple starts ago. And he's not going as deep as usual in the ball games, which gives us that so tasty Chicago White Sox bullpen. And this offense is good enough for just one round through that bullpen. It can turn into a launching pad. So I think I'm going to get heavy into Toronto on Thursday on a small slate. The next game is going to be a very fun one to get heavy on, especially after Wednesday. So the ownership will be higher. And that next game, the New York Yankees at the Minnesota Twins. No total on this one because you have King making the spot start, which usually turns into a bullpen game. He's 57 on DK, no price on FanDuel, against the one and only J.A. Happ at 58 and 61. And if you thought Aaron Judge and Stanton went off on Wednesday, I can't wait to see their ownership on Thursday facing J.A. Happ.
I mean, I would rather, these pitchers are so horrible. Now, actually, King, 5 1/3 his last time out, but I'm not going to roll him out. Against Minnesota. That was by far his longest start. But Happ, 19.2 innings in his last 4 starts with 17 earned runs. So that is rough. Rough. And a lot of PVB data against him, too. 4 for 10 for Judge with 2 homers and a double. Same for Stanton, 4 for 12, 2 homers and a double. 10 for 34 for Brett Gardner's been in the league since the Stone Age. Good Lord. 10 for 34 against him with a triple, 3 doubles, and 2 homers. So 6 extra base hits. And there's hot hitters on both sides. Torres, Andujar, 26 and 27. Once again, cheaper on
everywhere.
DK.
Should have him everywhere.
You should have him. Every DK lineup should have Urshela. Jeffers, Gordon, Donaldson, who got the stare down. Garrett Cole looked pretty good tonight, by the way.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Larnach
did.
is cheap, 22 and 24. Simmons is pretty solid as well, 25 and 21. So, I like stacking either side of this game.
And you mentioned Cole, so I'll say it real quick. I was in a chat, and some guys were looking at his spin rates for today, and they were just slightly, very minusculely higher than most of his season average. So there's nothing that stood out to make things interesting. Everyone's waiting for that massive standout.
Attack.
Yeah. Or he's got the good bullfrog going there in a night game. That's always good. I love the one where they were bullfrog in the domes. Those are the good ones. Judge, Stanton, those are going to be the popular plays. But Torres, Andujar, Urshela, all very affordable on DK. And Andujar and Urshela is very affordable, period, on both sides. So jump on that train. But I have no problem attacking King as well, like you mentioned. If you want to get some Twins action, the Yankees will be the popular side of it. They'll be the chalk on the slate. Just keep that in mind. Kansas City Royals versus the Oakland Athletics. Mike Minor, Frankie Montas, over under 8. Minor 84 on DK, 82 on FanDuel, Montas 81 and 74. And I already know what pitcher you like, and I think I'm with you.
Minor. I like him in this. I actually like them both a little bit. But Minor, I like him in this slate because it's against Oakland in Oakland. And 9.81K per 9. And he's cheap. 84 and 82 is not bad. Once again, not one of my more favorite. I like Greinke. I like paying down for Greinke or paying up for Scherzer. Or if I'm going to go with a middler around that price, give me Rogers. But I think he is in play as a lower percentage own. And Montas, too. I think they're about the same here.
Yeah, I like Montas quite a bit in this one. I'm a big Royals stack fan. But Montas, I wouldn't use him in cash because he's very volatile. But when he's on, which he has been more often than not lately, he's been super effective. You mentioned that ballpark. Kansas City will be traveling in after they're still playing against Anaheim as we record right now. So I like me some Frankie Montas in this one. And I like some of these A's bats, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, as the A's bats, the PVB data 6 for 15 for Canna against him, a double and 3 homers against Minor. Chad Pinder 5 for 15 with a double and a homer, 2 for 7 for Piscotty with a bomb. On the other side, Cool Whit against Montas, 4 for 7, a double, 2 for 6 for Dozier. And there's hot bats specifically on the Oakland side, but let's not forget that they just got done with the series against the Diamondbacks, who are miserable. Matt Olson is expensive. Chapman is expensive. Murphy. Jed Lowry is not expensive and a good buy at 39 and 27. And then Benintendi's cheap still, 39 and 32. And Salvi is 49 and 29.
Yeah, I'll be jumping on some of those A's like the Mark Kana. I love him the way he's playing right now. They got Swipe Right and Chad Pinder, who is hitting it very well also. So there'll be 2 guys I'd really focus around. Sean Murphy's heating up too. So I like the A's as kind of a late night, low-owned hammer if you want to go there. But everyone's going to be on the Yankees. I like Toronto, Houston. That's kind of in Miami. That's where things lie. If you had to pick one pitcher tonight, Bogman, who are you going with?
One pitcher, I'm going to go with Greinke. He's been hot. I'm going to trust it.
He's like the Hansel, so hot.
So all hot right now, Hansel.
Hot. But yeah, follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB, and give the podcast a rate and review on iTunes. We would truly appreciate it. Or go to the LineStar YouTube page and give it a subscribe and a thumbs up. That would mean a ton. But you want to follow the Twitter account, LineStar app, because besides the lineups and the home runs and all the great stuff they tweet out every day, once a day they tweet out the home run calls of the day, where Bogman, myself, and Ryan Humphreys make a home run call. And if you retweet, 3 lucky retweeters will get chosen to potentially win some free swag if one of our picks goes deep. So on Thursday, Bogman, 6-game slate, June 10th, who's your home run call of the day?
Give me Vladito against Dallas Keuchel. Mr. Kelly Nash. Give me Vladito.
That was on the tip of my tongue, and you took it. So there goes that one. I'm going to make a hard pivot, though, and I am going to go to the Yankees. And I'm not going Judge or Stanton. That's easy. So that means like it'll probably happen. I should probably take them. But where I'm going is I am going to Miguel Andujar. He's got 5 homers over like the last 7 or 8 games, and I think it's going to continue to happen against J.A. Happ. So give me Miguel Andujar against J.A. Happ. You're going Vladito. Ryan will probably go with Judge or Stanton just because he's smart like that. And we'll see where things go. So it'll be a fun slate, Bogman. We'll see what happens.
Yep, a short one. So see you guys tomorrow. Good luck.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to LineStarApp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.